Hello, I'm Julie Bengis, manager of Smile Train Team Empower. Thank you for joining us today to hear directly from three of the most creative, inspiring cleft activists I know. Each of you, in your own unique way, has used your voice and resources to bring smiles to so many people with clefts. I'm thrilled to welcome you all today. Please, everyone, join me in welcoming Jeremy Hough, Krista Pietersma, and Manny Ventura. So we're going to jump right in and start with you, Jeremy. So after your daughter Campbell was born with a cleft, you and your wife Kelly decided to give back to other cleft-affected families by founding Team Empower, Smile Train's athletic fundraising program. Can you tell us a bit about your journey?
Yes, thank you. It's good to be here today, and it's been an amazing journey for us. So Campbell was born back in 2006, and we really had no idea what to expect. We were fortunate that she was born into a military hospital and had amazing access to care both at that hospital and then at other hospitals as we moved around the country from coast to coast. And we even began doing some fundraising for Smile Train early on. What we came to realize was that not every kid actually has, that kind of care and that opportunity. And so we wanted to do more. And as we were fundraising, it came to a point where we were involving friends to come fundraise with us. And I was about to deploy to Afghanistan for a year. And so before that, we wanted to get together, and I got 4 friends of mine to agree to actually go race, and we were going to do an Ironman, which would have been all of our first Ironman. To this point, we'd just been doing Olympic and sprint triathlons, and this was a big goal of ours to do. And we got our schedules together, which was not it was not easy. It was very challenging for 4 military members and a spouse to get our schedules to work out and pick a race that we'd actually all be able to do. And we settled on Lake Placid in 2013. Unfortunately, by the time we reached out to Ironman to see if there were any slots available, there were none. But they did say they were working with some charities with the few remaining slots that they actually did have. And so I immediately thought to myself, Smile Train should be one of these charities, and reached out to Smile Train and introduced them to the team at Ironman, and introduced the team at Ironman to Smile Train, and got everybody together. And Smile Train was actually able to get us 5 charity slots into that race in Lake Placid, which was amazing. And that race, we raised about $22,000. And but what was more important is what came out of that race, and was a partnership between Smile Train and Ironman as the first charity sponsor or partner for Ironman Arizona. And then after that, that just led to the team. Our team became, Team Empower, formerly the athletic program for Smile Train, and just grew and grew and grew to now thousands of athletes and raising millions of dollars, which was way beyond what our vision initially was. So we're pretty excited about that.
Well, I'm so thankful that you took that leap and made that connection for Smile Train and really founding Team Empower. It's been a great journey that I get to work on the program, and having your guidance along the way has been incredible. Can you maybe share a little bit about what seeing Team Empower propel into the future has been like, and what it's meant to your family?
Yeah, so it's meant a lot to us because it's been a way for us to give back to the community, and to help encourage others to give back to the community. For our family in particular, it's been a phenomenal way for us to show our daughters how to be good citizens, and for them to grow and give back to the community as well. It's amazing to see them out running now and hosting lemonade stands and going on runs on 5Ks even to raise money for Smile Train. So it's brought us all together. And yeah, I see this team going a long way now with the marathon team we have, and along with now our bicycle team, which is pretty awesome.
Yeah, so great to see the progression. And I really look forward to so many miles and smiles ahead with you. And all the races that you participate. So thanks, Jeremy.
Thank you.
So Krista, up next. You're both a mother of a son with a cleft and the founder of Cuddles for Cleft, a phenomenal nonprofit that gives people the opportunity to send care packages to a child about to go under cleft surgery. Your website shares the purpose of these packages is to be a source of comfort and support as you or someone you love undergoes a cleft operation. The site also shares that your mission is to make a cleft-affected families know that they are never alone, and what makes them different is what also makes them beautiful. Can you share about Cuddles for Cleft and how it came to be and what the organization has accomplished since it was founded?
Yes, I'd love to. So we received our son's diagnosis when we were about 18 weeks pregnant with him. And that day that we received his diagnosis, I was in the doctor's office, and he told us that our son was going to be born with a cleft and wasn't really able to give us any kind of information or support other than that, and kind of scooted me out the door and told me that he'd be fixed with surgery and that I should probably pick a strong name for him. And when I got to the car, I just had that overwhelming feeling of being alone. And I wasn't sure what to do. I had so many questions of what his life might look like, what we were in for. And I didn't have anywhere really to turn to. So I hopped online and started to research. And that was probably the worst thing that I could have done. And when I wasn't finding the answers that I was looking for, I reached out to a group on Facebook of moms and asking them if they had any reference or children with clefts or any experience with it. And I had a mom reach out to me immediately and connect me with her sister, who had a 9-month-old daughter at the time born with a bilateral cleft lip and palate, and she just happened to live in the next town over from me. And that connection with that mom really was impactful for me to be able to get firsthand knowledge from her. She invited me over to her house, introduced me to her daughter before I had even given birth to my own child. And just getting that information straight from her was an incredible blessing. And then as we were leading up to our first surgery with Cole, we received a care package from another organization that was running at the time. And it was from a cleft family that had sent it to us. In that package, we didn't know this family, and it wasn't the things that were inside the package that were meaningful to us. It was the fact that someone was thinking of us during this time that was really scary for us to think about handing your child over to a doctor for surgery at 4 months old. And just having that support at the time was a blessing to us. And in 2016, that organization that was running at the time decided to stop. And it was at that time that I felt the nudge to start Cuddles for Clefts. And that was kind of our basis for starting that. So we launched Cuddles for Clefts in 2017, and we send surgery support packages to children, infant through adult. If it's a cleft-related operation, we want to be able to support them. So our packages include a stuffed animal with a scar that's stitched onto it that will match what the child will have post-op, a book, and then also our shirt or onesie with our "Every Smile Has a Story" slogan. And to date, we've been able to ship 4,500 of those about worldwide, and we've been able to partner with different organizations and clinics, both here in the States and overseas, and particularly overseas. We've been able to get our Cuddle Buddies, which are our stuffed animals, to different clinics and organizations where they're able to hand them out to their patients where we aren't able to ship to directly ourselves.
As you share more about your cleft story, I just have goosebumps all over my body. And I know that the 4,500 families that you've sent care packages to are probably so grateful for, interjecting into their journey and making it a moment where they can rally behind. So that's incredible. Can you share a little bit about what some of your goals are for the future of Cuddles for Cleft?
Yeah, we've grown a lot since 2017, and we hope to be able to continue to do so domestically and worldwide. We are growing our team, so we're hoping with some extra hands on deck that we'll be able to increase that reach. And we're also in the process of designing a package that we'll be able to give to hospitals and doctors or clinics that are giving their patients that cleft diagnosis. When I received that diagnosis and not having any information, and I'm just the type of person that I like my information, to be able to give that to a doctor that may not have a lot of experience with clefts, before, to have a resource in their hands that they can hand to someone and direct those patients to quality information that they can then go and move on from there. That's what we're hoping to design and get into hands very soon. And then we are also in the process of developing and launching a blog that ties into our Every Smile Has a Story slogan, that we're hoping that we can build stories from different individuals who are walking a cleft journey, because everyone's stories and their experiences are different. And we're hoping to create that platform where people can share their experiences and journeys, and that people who are maybe starting out or going through something similar can come and get that firsthand experience and knowledge from there.
What you're doing, I know, will continue to have such a large impact on these cleft-affected families from that moment of diagnosis through surgery. And I look forward to seeing your organization continue to grow. Thanks. Now, Manny, so this past July, you were very busy. You went from not being a serious runner to jumping into a 5K every single day of the month. And as if that wasn't challenging enough, you live streamed each of these runs on social media to raise awareness and funds. What inspired you to do this, and what were some of the most rewarding and challenging parts of that experience?
Well, for me, it all started just before I was about to turn 28, and I decided to look in the mirror. And that's when I noticed that I had all these scars on my face, but I never knew why. You see, I was born with the cleft, and I needed 5 surgeries on my face to repair my smile. But I never had the real story. I never had my personal story. My parents had just come from the Dominican Republic. They didn't speak much English. And so growing up, you know, they never told me why I was born with the cleft. I could remember kids growing up calling me cricket nose, cricket lip, banana split. And I can just, looking in this mirror, I had all these, you know, thoughts coming to me. And I said, you know, I got to figure it out. I got to figure out my personal story. And so that's when I decided to start from day one and call the doctor that performed the surgeries on me. I've only saw him twice. I've never really saw him after that. And so I was super nervous calling him. But when I called his office, he was very surprised. He said, come along. We might have something to show you. And so I went to his office, and I saw the doctor. He pulled out this old, folder from, all the way downstairs, and blew out all the dust from it, and was able to show me what I call my golden treasures of life, my baby pictures of me born with the cleft, which I never had ever in my life. Just about turning 28, and I never had these baby pictures that really just showed me who I am and how I was born. And so once I realized this, I said, there's got to be a way that I could give back to kids that were born just like me, kids that were born with what I call battle scars, just from birth, and that we've grown to be stronger. And I was like, okay, how can I do this? How can I support? And I looked up online, and I saw different organizations run a 5K. And I said, look, kids born with the cleft deserve somebody to run a 5K, not just once, but every single day. And that person is going to be me. And so for July's Cleft and Cranial Facial Awareness Month, I decided to partner up with organizations like Smile Train and other cleft organizations. And I said, look, I'm going to run a 5K every day. I'm going to raise awareness, and I'm going to try my best to raise funds as well and give it all away so that we can really support together. And so I started running on the first day, and I got super tired along the way. And I realized at that point that July is the longest, one of the longest months in the summer. And so I was live streaming my runs on Facebook and Instagram. And along the way, there was people that gave me shoes to run in, because I've never been a runner, so I didn't know what even shoes to run in. And so I just kept running. I knew there was so many people supporting me, and so I could never give up. I just kept going and going. And on the last day, July 31st, 2020, I decided to run a 5K twice on that last day so I could complete 100 miles for July's Cleft and Cranial Facial Awareness Month. And so along the way, I was interviewed by NBC 10, ABC 6, Runner's World magazine wrote an article on me. We were able to really push awareness and raise $12,000 for this campaign. And I was just so grateful at the end of the day that I was able to really raise awareness, find my personal story, and really challenge myself to give back to the cleft community in the biggest way possible.
I was so honored to run just 5K of your 100 miles that month. It was so fun, and really pulling it all together, from Jeremy using sport to, raise awareness and funds, to finding your story and how Krista helps families do that. So amazing. So what might you have planned in the future for some cleft advocacy and campaigns up your sleeve?
Now, running a 5K was a big challenge for me, as being never being a runner. So hopefully, I'm thinking I can maybe run a 5K in every state at some point, so I could really raise awareness. I ran it all in Rhode Island. I want to expand it more. I had a lot of people run with me virtually, and I just said, okay, how can I do it where I can come to them in every single state and really raise awareness?
Well, when you come to New York, I will happily run another 5K with you, man, if the invitation's open. So look forward to that next year, hopefully. So one question for all of you, and we'll start with Jeremy, and then we'll jump to Krista and Manny over there. What might be that one piece of advice that you want to pass on to someone looking to make a difference in the cleft community, or just in general, give back to their community?
Yeah, Julie, I would say find your vision and grab onto it and don't let go. Just press and press. You'll find doubters. You'll find people that'll throw obstacles in your way, but just don't lose sight of it, and charge towards it, and you'll be successful.
Awesome. Thanks, Jeremy. Krista, what's something you might want to pass on to someone considering jumping in to make a difference for the cleft community or otherwise?
I think it would just be take that first step. It doesn't have to be something huge, starting from the beginning. But if you have a dream, chase it and just take that first step and let it build. And it will build into something that you probably wouldn't even imagine. 4,500
care packages sent to families. I don't think you imagined that back in 2017. So wonderful.
Definitely not, no.
Finally, last but not least, Manny, what are you looking to pass on to someone? Your story is most recent, just starting your cleft journey, really, in the advocacy space this past summer. What do you want to pass on to others?
I would say if you have a big goal that you want to go after, look in the mirror and go for it. And along the way, it's going to be challenging, but when it gets challenging, that's when it gets good.
So before we wrap up, I want to say thank you to each of you for everything you've done, and I know you're going to continue to do for the cleft community. I'm sure everyone watching is inspired by your commitment and determination. I know that I certainly am, and just look forward to what you continue to give back to this amazing group of people. I'd like to invite everyone to visit the panelists' bios to learn more about their work and connect with them directly. And for now, we're going to open up to question and answer. All right, I just know I so love seeing all these comments in the chat box over here where everyone's from. We're represented coast to coast, it would seem. So that's so wonderful. I'd encourage everyone to continue to drop comments, questions for our panelists in that chat box over there. We'll try to get to them. We have about 10 minutes left in the session. So I'm gonna take this inspirational last tail end of the conversation and jump right to Manny. We have a couple people here saying, I love your energy, followed your 5K, love your motivation. Like I said, I so enjoyed running a 5K with you in July, and I look forward to joining you at your future runs. Can you share what it's been like, taking this platform and being featured in a lot of publications? You had a Runner's World magazine recently. What's that been like to, be a public speaker for this community now?
So, interesting you asked, because, I've always loved to speak. It was something I've always loved to do, but I never really found my unique story, because I've never really knew about why I was born with the cleft. And so for me to kind of find my unique story and get these baby pictures that, I was able to get by calling the doctor that performed all the surgeries on me. And for me, it was just eye-opening. And I really wanted to share that story, because it affected, not only me, but I know there's other kids born just like me that have that same, these same stories that we go through in life, and just, going through life with being born with the cleft, and, being on NBC 10, ABC 6, having Runner's World magazine write an article, for me, it was just like, wow, another a big way that we can really raise awareness and really push for, cleft, advocacy and growing up, it's something I didn't know about. I didn't know anybody growing up with the cleft around me. I didn't know cleft organizations exist. And so I'm just so grateful that I was able to, get this opportunity to really share what cleft means to me.
Awesome. Yeah. And I mean, in the opening session, you hear from Henry talking about using his platform, his recovery time, to have this whole community come together. And again, today's another representation of that. So thank you, Manny, for just continuing to that voice and bring your amazing energy. I think I should watch your videos every morning instead of have coffee. I think that would be the better way to set the tone for the day. So just such an inspiration. I love it. Krista, it looks like we had a comment that, where is it? From Monica, saying she also got a cleft care package and it was such a blessing. So thanking you again for jumping into this cleft journey for these people and presenting those packages. And you mentioned that you've partnered with other organizations outside the US. Can you share how those connections were made to really open up the door even broader?
Yeah, it really, all of the growth that we've gained has really all been from word of mouth. So it's just people in the cleft community passing on the information, and they've usually reached out to us, and we've been able to make those connections. And it's really incredible to me to think about worldwide the reach that we've been able to have, just making those connections. And by word of mouth, someone saw it and they reached out to us, and we've been able to get those stuffed animals into their hands, which I love, because a lot of the places we can't ship to directly. So it's a way that we can kind of expand that reach and support other organizations, and then they can help support their patients.
Amazing. And is there any way that other people can support Clothes for Cleft if they want to, get on board with the organization?
Yeah, different ways you can support are obviously through direct sponsorship. We have children listed on our website that are looking for sponsors currently. Or if you're looking to volunteer, if you send us an email at hello@cuddlesforclefts.com, and if there's a way that we can get you plugged in, we'd definitely love to do so.
Amazing. Love that. Always leave that door open for new opportunities and welcoming people. I'm going to bring it around to Jeremy now. And I know that you had the opportunity to go to a Smile Train partner in Thailand not too long ago with your wife, Kelly. Can you share about that experience and what it was like meeting a family, meeting a child who had the same cleft as your daughter, Campbell, and knowing that the funds you raised could have very well helped that child and other children like her?
That was absolutely a transformational experience for Kelly and I. It was amazing to see just all these amazing people at this hospital working towards one goal, and all of the work that Smile Train does, teaching these doctors and just all of that coming together and in action, and meeting these families who, like Kelly and I, had no idea what to expect when their child was born. And the person the family that you referenced, Kelly had a picture of Campbell, our daughter, and with her on her phone, and we walked into this nursery, and here's this baby that has the same exact cleft, and this very young mother and her mother were there, and Kelly, of course, we didn't speak the language, but we didn't need to, because it was an instant connection with this woman, and Kelly shared the picture, and it was just so powerful, and it really brought meaning to all of the work that we've done, and made us realize that it all goes to such great people that are doing incredible work, and every day, and that just it just makes us feel so great to see this organization and what they do.
Amazing. Yeah, I mean, you're all giving back in such unique ways, using your skills and talents, and I mean, to learn about your stories has been incredible. And we do have a couple of remaining minutes left in the session, so I'd encourage everyone to go ahead and drop those questions in the chat box. And I want to throw it to each of you. What are something you're looking to get out of today? You've been involved in giving back to your community. What are other things you're looking to learn from today, or to connect with people? What are you aiming for? We'll go Krista first.
I'm just excited to see this happen. Really, it's just amazing to see the cleft community coming together and the information that's being shared. Our son's 6 right now, so we're kind of like in a little bit, we feel like limbo of, early surgeries and what's coming next. So I'm really looking forward to kind of see what's ahead for us in his journey.
Excellent. All right, Manny, what about you? I mean, you've shared that, this is really the start of your cleft journey in general. Like, it wasn't until you almost turned 28 that you were like, man, I should learn about myself. So today, potentially being another stepping stone in your journey, right?
Yeah, I'm super excited. This is like, I just started thinking about this, and this is my first ever cleft conference in my life ever that I've ever attended. And so I'm like ecstatic to really attend more, learn more about the communities, really connect with more people, network, and really just see how ways that we can, push forward more awareness in the future. This to me, I was, in the watching the introductions, the Henry story and everything, and I loved it. This is great to me. This is just what I wanted to see. Just cleft community strong and really helping people come together.
Lovely. All right, and Jeremy, I know that you're abroad right now for work, staying up late. What's inspiring you to stay up late and to connect with all these families?
Well, it's just great to see. First, thank you for putting this event on, and to see the community come together and to hear the stories. While I was over here, my daughter actually had what may be her last annual cleft appointment with her team back in the US, and to see our journey come to, kind of a close is incredible. But I think about all the stories and all the journeys that are just beginning, and how important it is, and how much we want to give back to those families who are just kind of taking that first step down a path. And so I'm real excited to be here today and to be a part of this. And that's what's keeping me up. Just to hear the stories and to contribute and help bring this cause to everyone's front of their mind.
Awesome. Yeah, I know we have, I think, 400 attendees last I heard, which is just amazing, a testament to, a need that Smile Train is hopefully fulfilling, and that connecting you all to continue to share and inspire one another. We have a comment here from Dina. Manny, you're amazing, as everyone else is here. So thank you all here today. And I encourage everyone to continue conversation going in the chat. Check out the expo hall. There's some open discussions for parents of children born with cleft and for cleft-affected people themselves going on. A great paint activity later, awesome things going on. So make sure you check out all the things going on in the agenda. I want to again thank you, Jeremy, Manna, and Krista. It's been so great to connect with you and learn about your journeys and learn about how you're giving back to the community. I think you're going to inspire a lot of people here today to think about how they can use their talents and skills to do similarly. So thank you guys so much.